Hey, good afternoon to all my colleagues throughout North America. Carm Capriato, it's a CarmCast. It's CarmCast number 98. I can't believe it's done that many of them. We're here to talk about AAPEX and AAPEX 2021. Now, you may be going, and if you are, you've got a great behind-the-scenes opportunity to hear and listen to four of the trainers that are going to be there. And if not, we're going to tease you about a whole bunch of great things coming up. It's actually still not too late to sign up for AAPEX. In fact, I think people reserve. Okay, I got to go to AAPEX. I got to sign up, and then you're getting hotels. And there's one thing that's coming up that I do want to mention is that there is a discount on tickets up until tomorrow night, Friday. So if you're listening to this after the 9th or on the 9th, you're going to miss that opportunity. But maybe it's an inducement to go. Hey, look, I'll be there in the Repair Shop HQ and then Joe's Garage, and I do want to explain that to you as the program goes on. We'll have our studio. We'll be doing some live broadcasts and all kinds of great interviews there. I'd like to introduce to you the guests who are with me that are actually going to carry this show on their shoulders, not mine. I have Eric Ziegler from Easy Diagnostic Solutions, Easy Tech Mentors, and Easy Diagnostic Solutions. Hey, Eric.
How are you? Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here, man. Rich Cregar is here, Automotive Training Authority. Hi, Rich.
Hi.
Good to have you, my friend. And Rick White from 180 Biz. And Bill Haas from Haas Performance Consulting. Now,
hello, everybody.
Rick and Bill are going to talk about their management training, and Eric and Rich are going to talk about their technician training. So glad to have you here. So look at AAPEX, guys, in my mind, is a homecoming since we all missed every show. In fact, a bunch of us were out at a show last weekend, ASTE. It was kind of really cool to see everybody in the flesh. I got a great picture of you, Rick. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it was on my vlog. And so it's a homecoming, getting back to the biggest event ever inside of our industry, and that would be AAPEX in Las Vegas. They did something. The AAPEX leadership did something that they've never done before. This is a first. One whole level is going to be called Repair Shop HQ, and it's completely dedicated to the service professional. And then inside of it is what's called Joe's Garage. And Joe's Garage is going to be a working 6-bay shop. There's going to be all kinds of great things going on in Joe's Garage. It's 6 bays. Simulated real life shop. There's going to be the training theaters where you'll see these guys perform in a Diag telematics area. So it's going to be like you're walking into everything that has to do with the service professional, and then inside of Joe's Garage, you'll feel like you're home. It'll be great. So there are safety concerns. We'll cover it at the end. You'll have a chance to talk to top executives, see the latest tech, touch and hold things, and see all kinds of great demos. We're going to cover all of that. If you're with us on social media, do me a favor, check in with your city, give us a like, share this, tell the world that you're going to AAPEX. Now, the dates for AAPEX, November 21, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. I would say that you need to book your ticket right now. And as I was mentioning, there's that early bird thing, and it may not have any value by Saturday, but if you're with us and you're on the fence, it's only $40 to register for AAPEX and at aapexshow.com. Okay, all that cool stuff is out of the way. Rick, I would love for you to talk about what you're going to be doing training at AAPEX.
I'm going to be jumping around up and down on the front of the room talking about something I'm pretty passionate about. And for anybody that hasn't been to AAPEX yet, I promise you go once, you go every year. It is just mind-blowing how big this show is. And if you tend to make it over to SEMA and you have good sneakers or a couple of pair of sneakers, you can see the whole thing there. It's just unbelievable, the people that you'll meet and the exhibits that you'll see, the vendors. So if you haven't, please think about it. So I'll be putting on a class. It's on November 2nd from 2 to 4:30 p.m. And it's called Service Advisors, the key to doing business, the key to business success. And the reason for this class is, the reality is every job in an auto repair shop is tough, man. You got the technicians dealing with technology that's just running rampant. You have the advisors that are not only dealing with customers or clients, but then they have to deal with techs, and they have to keep the owner happy as well. I'm telling you, I truly believe that the advisor's job is the hardest job there is in a shop, because, technicians, they're dealing with machines. That's technical. Advisors are dealing with people, and that's emotional. And let's face it, there's no logic with emotion. So it's a real balancing act and a juggling act up front. And this class is really designed for owners and managers and advisors. And what we're going to do is show you what your advisors need to succeed, number one, and then how you as the manager and owner can do that. And then we go into how you can give them tools and strategies so that they can increase car count, increase sales, and increase frequency. It's really a lot of fun. It's high. It's very high energy. Anybody that's been to any of my training, there's no such thing as low energy. It's about having fun, getting some learning across, and getting you to see your business, your position from a different and better perspective.
Rick, do you recommend that owners go to the class, or service advisors too?
Yes, both actually. Because a big part of that class is actually showing the owners, look, what do we tend to do? We tend to hire someone, we call him an advisor, we put him on the front counter, and once a week we throw him a steak, we call that a paycheck, and that's it. We got our own stuff to do. But that, I call the advisor position a high erosion position. There's a lot of erosion that goes on with no's and stress and everything like that. You've got to find a way to encourage, build up, recharge your team, and it will absolutely make a difference. So I'm hoping you'll be out there and get to see it. And then if you want to talk later, I'll be there for the whole week. My wife and I, we go out for the whole week. And man, I'd love to meet up and talk and help you with anything you've got going on.
Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you coming on. It'll be a great class. As Rick says, he's high energy. We'd all love to know your secret of how you get yourself up to that level of
better living through chemistry is all I'm going to say. Excellent. It's caffeine. I promise.
Caffeine, great. Hey, I've got a PowerPoint slide I'd love to show you all. And there's just so much going on at AAPEX in Joe's garage. Again, as I said, lifts, running vehicles, digital inspection tools will be on display. All the capabilities and benefits and utilization in real time. Talk to the people that know these products. Actually watch them perform under hood to under vehicle solutions and precise training, and all kinds of questions that you can ask. And one more slide. Inside of Joe's garage, there's going to be all kinds of great exhibits tailored to your front counter staff, like shop management software, customer relationship management, which we know is CRM, digital inspection software, website designers, digital signage and menu boards, and integrated text-to-pay solutions, all things that are so important and so critical. Don't forget about that early bird thing, as I was telling you all before, which may be too late by Saturday, but by tomorrow, $40 for the registration at AAPEXshow.com. Eric Ziegler, Easy Diagnostic Solutions. Man, what are you going to do at AAPEX?
I am actually got a pretty full workload. I'd like to start by one of the things I have not had a chance to actually be online, but I'd like to offer my most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Bob Greenwood. I heard your tribute to him, and I had thought about the very first time that I met him in person was actually at AAPEX. So that's the caliber of individual that is at AAPEX. And my heartfelt condolences go out to him and his family. So one of the things I would say about the AAPEX program, I have gone out every year and trained at ATRA, which is the week before, and kind of stayed on as a spectator. I think 3 or 4 years ago, pre-pandemic, it's kind of foggy. I did a class there, or maybe, and then I did the virtual stuff, and I was honored when I got I submitted like 7 requests, and they picked up 4 classes. So I am going to be teaching the scan data analysis for drivability diagnostics. I'm also going to do a network class about communication issues, U codes, and kind of a common sense approach to diagnosing network dilemmas for technicians. I'm also doing my variable valve timing fundamentals and diag class on Thursday morning, and then we'll close out Thursday afternoon with misfire fast and efficient diagnosis. And all my classes, I think that anybody has gone to them. If Rick is high energy, I am high energy on steroids. I not usually have people that fall asleep in my classes. They are. I have no pedigree as a automotive trainer. I've never had a high school auto mechanics. I am just a guy who started busting down tires, changing oil. I started actually cleaning a shop when I was 15 years old and just never had the common sense to leave the industry. And somewhere along their line, I really fell in love with it probably 20 years ago when I started specializing in diagnosis. So everything that I've pretty much learned, I've either had to learn in the form of a common sense, like hands-on approach. And that's kind of how I steer my training towards. And my career would be nothing if I had never seen my very first John Thornton class. And for this year, this is how much AAPEX has changed. I think we have one of the most preemptive, probably one of the best trainers in the automotive repair side, technician side training. And John Thornton is actually going to come out. And I think John's going to do an engine mechanical and a fuel trims class. And they really started, AAPEX kind of was, had like parts and tools and stuff when I would go like 7 or 8 years ago. And then they kind of had a little bit on training. They have gone whole hog into training on this deal. So we've got everything from my common sense classes to quality management training classes from I think Cecil and Bill and Rick, and I think Kathleen Long is doing something for women in the industry. We have a lot of stuff on future stuff, such as my company does a lot of ADAS stuff. I think Mike Reynolds is doing an ADAS class there. We have stuff on hybrids, not only selling it, which I think Rich is going to speak to, but the electrification of the vehicle. I think for Francisco Moreno from ZF is going to be there. So all these people are people that I hold in super high regard, and I'm just kind of bummed that I don't get to sit in on their classes. And the one thing that I was just absolutely smashed to believe was that, like, you can sign up for this to go to AAPEX, which is the most super cool homecoming of all in our automotive industry, but you can attend these classes for $25. $25 you can sit in on a 2.5 hour class, get to see a John Thornton class, maybe get to go see a Rich class, maybe it's something that, you know, your paths haven't crossed. Different instructors teach in different geographical locations of the country. So being able to do this all at one place and be able to see new tools and new techniques, and just if you have the time to go to SEMA, that is 3 halls and hundreds of thousands of square feet. If you wear a Fitbit, will have no problem getting your 10,000 steps in. But the people there are phenomenal. The people who put it on are phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're going to be there. 4 classes, guys. Can you imagine? He's going to be doing 4 classes in 2 days. He's going to be an overcooked noodle by Thursday night.
That'll be good.
Well, hey, thank you for all those encouraging words. And you're right. AAPEX has stepped it up like never before. Repair Shop HQ, Joe's Garage, and all this great training, which is one of the reasons we're here. Is we just wanted to give this behind the scenes thing going on about AAPEX and bring on you trainers. Now, one more slide I want to show you. Inside of Joe's Garages, I was kind of explaining before. Want to go into it a little deeper. Being able to touch tools and equipment, and see what's new, both in power and diagnostic tools, it's just going to be great. I mean, it's all in one place. Mobile heat transfer and heating and the air conditioning, that whole entire unit's going to be there. Diagnostics Telematics is going to have not only a really big booth in the upper hall, but they're going to have a presence inside of Repair Shop HQ in Joe's Garage. And tire servicing, never been bigger and never been more important, the tire servicing. Hey, I want to introduce to you Bill Haas from Haas Performance Consulting. Bill.
Good afternoon or morning, depending upon where you are.
Yeah.
I've got to echo what you guys have all said. This is really, I can't give enough credit to AAPEX for the effort they're putting into making the focus on the service professional. These are the guys and gals that get it all done. And in my opinion, this is long overdue to have this kind of emphasis put on what the repair technicians, the service advisors, and the shop owners do to keep transportation going in this country. So thank you to AAPEX for that. I'll be doing a class on Thursday morning. It's the financial strategies for peace of mind. And that's really what the class is about. The class is about looking at all the financial aspects of the business. The class is really for owners and managers if they're involved in helping with the financial side of this. But it's looking at all the things we need to understand better in our business so we sleep better at night. Because this is the thing that I learned from clients that we work with is it's all this stuff that makes it difficult to sleep at night, because you wake up in the middle of the night and you wonder how you're going to pay that bill, or you wonder if, that tax deposit that we made is covered, or how am I going to cover payroll on Friday, and all this kind of stuff. So we really go through everything from the KPIs to breaking down the profit and loss statement, to having your labor rate set correctly, to evaluating how to pay employees correctly. So we look at how technicians should be paid, how service advisors should be paid. But the real benefit of this class is you are going to leave this class with more than just understanding all this financial stuff. You're going to leave this class with the ability to understand what you need to change to make the improvements to get this business where you deserve to be. And that's the real value of the class. We give you the tools so that when you walk out of there, you don't just shrug your shoulders and go, wow, I guess I'm not doing very good. Now I don't know what to do about it. You're going to walk out of that class going, this is what I need to look at. This is how I analyze the data. And this is the change I can make, because we're going to give you those tools in that class to be able to do that.
Wow. I got to go, but I think I'll be in the studio.
Oh, no.
Excellent class. Excellent class.
Well, if you're not there, I'll start without you, Carm.
Okay.
It sounds like it might be worth $25, Bill.
It might be worth $25.
I think I might pop for $25 and come in. I think I might sit in there.
I love it. I knew you guys would just get along so well. Hey, a couple of things I would like to share with you. AAPEX puts out some really great information on our entire unbelievable industry. Did you know that our industry makes up 2.5% of the U.S. GDP? Did you know that we represent 3.2% of the total U.S. employment, our industry? Did you know that based on a current stat, there's 860,000 technicians working in the aftermarket? Did you know
where?
And
shrinking,
I know,
exactly,
shrinking by the day.
And we need more. It's amazing how you look at that number and realize that every shop in America needs a tech.
Yeah, we still need 860,000 more.
And the average technician is 55 years old with 30 plus years experience. So young people listening to this, there's never been a better time to get involved in this field. It is a very rewarding field. I couldn't speak to it more.
A real quick side note. I had a plumbing issue. Called the plumber this morning, right? Young man. He can't be more than 21. He shows up. I'm looking for a senior guy. He knew what he was doing. And I talked to him. I said, skilled trade, excited for you. He says, I didn't want college debt. He says, I worked under a master plumber. I was so excited for this young man to, apply skilled trades. He says, this is what I wanted to do. I just want to use that in my heart to, tell the world every industry is hurting for skilled, but to see a young person, I said, I wonder if he really knows what he's going to be doing. And he did. So I was impressed.
Now compare the wage differential and compare what he had in his toolbox compared to the average working technician or the owner that had to have a brick and mortar, what they had to have. And
you know what I find most interesting about your commentary, Carm, is this. We look at that young person at 21 or 22 years old, and we immediately go, I wonder if they really know what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I find interesting about that is everybody that's on this podcast right now, we knew what we were doing when we were 21 years old. We were okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Rick.
Maybe not me.
But
I hadn't been Fortniteized yet, but
Bill, to your point, knowing I am so big on getting the youth of America excited into our industry at the high school level in an internship or shadowing program,
Right.
I said to myself, I hope he knows what he knows. And then I caught myself saying, I just want to give this, I want to watch this young man work. And I just want to see what he knows.
Yeah.
And my point is sometimes the paradigm gets in our way just a little bit. And
It
I
does.
experienced
You're
that
right.
for about 30 seconds.
and if I could make a quick point on that, not to berate the plumbing industry, I have many great friends that are plumbers, even though it sounds like a Don Rickles line. You think of in defense of the average automotive technician, they have to know plumbing, right? They have to know hydraulics. They have to know electronics. They have to know, networks.
HVAC.
They have to know, mechanical systems. They have to know geometry. They have to know all these things, heating and air conditioning. So like if you were having a house built, you would have your general contractor supply the electrician that would run the wire, the carpenter that would frame it up, the plasterer that would come and do that. Your average automotive technician has to have all those things under one hat. And for most of the owners, they have to have a background in knowledge and not only knowing those things and how to keep people in their circle, what they need to do, but they have to know how to do that to be profitable.
Great point. Thank you so much. Hey, I want to cover a couple of more slides to show you how far Joe's Garage is really going. There's going to be featured demos from all these great companies. Look at them: Hunter, Bosch, BG, Right to Repair, Bolton, Napa Auto Care, Autel, Coates. Next slide, and that would be on the 3rd. That was Tuesday. On Wednesday, Right to Repair again, Coates, Autel. All of these same great companies are going to be doing these great demos, product demos, and on the Thursday, the same group, different times. AAPEX has really thought this through really big time, and I'm going to cover the whole safety thing and what we all are concerned about in preparing ourselves to get to AAPEX based on the rules of Las Vegas and AAPEX as it regards to COVID, and we'll cover that right after Rich Cregar steps to the plate. Hey, Rich.
Hey.
Good to have you.
Yeah, in 1876, Nicholas Otto patented the internal combustion 4-cycle engine design. And if Nicholas were with us today, if he would tear down an engine in a 2021 Toyota, for instance, he would recognize all the basic components. So we haven't changed that much. Now, we're taking that powertrain, the simple concept of suck, squeeze, bang, and blow, and we're abandoning it. Long term, it's going to be gone within 40 to 50 years, and we're transitioning our entire nation to a new form of motive power, which is simply torque on a rotating shaft supplied by magnetism. And we're doing it this is not being driven by market demand. This is being driven by government mandate. So it is a whole new universe for us. Not only that, but every single electric vehicle on the road today will be technically obsolete within 3 years. The drive systems won't be necessarily, but the battery technology will be supplanted by a superior technology within 3 years. So, wow. And so what I'm going to try to do, first of all, put all that into perspective, outline who the major players in the industry are. And then I wanted to get everybody a working familiarity with the types of motor power. So we've got permanent magnet drive systems. We've got inductive drive systems. The gear reduction technology, traction motor placement, whether it be axle mounted motors or wheel motors, both are here now. And, the pluses and minuses of each. And then, of course, the battery technology, which is all over the place. And we're going to have to we're going to have to get a basic understanding of battery chemistry. I'm going to try to impart that to everyone. And then just hopefully everybody who attends this workshop will leave conversant so that when one of these things rolls in the door, you can be conversant. You can find your way around it. Talk intelligently to the owner, and the owners now are primarily the early adopters, which means that they're pretty well read, typically on the subject. How are we going to deal with sourcing technical information, especially when the leading retailer of electric vehicles, Tesla, is notoriously known for being, as we put it, not playing well with others. They do not release their technical information willingly. So it's just a whole new gaping, yawning abyss that we're all going to have to jump into. And I'm going to try to at least give you if not the big parachute, maybe the pre-shoot that starts to slow you down on your way to the to the ground. So it should be an interesting 2.5 hours discussion that we're going to have.
2.5 hours won't do it justice, Rich.
No, it won't. But we'll do what we can.
You know, I can't help but think the shows that we've done in the past year or two about if you're not repairing hybrids, you're really kind of behind the curve. Between our coaches and Eric, do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I got involved in this industry starting in about 2004 in the whole sustainable transportation side of the business. And at that time, and I'm going to say up through just a couple of years ago, we were talking about there was no single bullet, just a lot of bronze buckshot, right? Because we talked about the low carbon fuels, the renewable fuels, but we still talked about internal combustion, and we talked about ethanol and biodiesel and biogas and all these other forms of alternate fueling that we had for the vehicle that were all going to play a part. They were all going to play a part in the transportation structure of this country. That's not where it's going. It's going to purely EV, no tailpipe, pure EV, and that in itself is an Earth. It's a magnitude 8 quake in the industry. We're putting, we're going to do 12 million new vehicles this year. Typically, we do 15 million new vehicles every year. We're down because of the supply problems and the chip shortage and so forth. Well, and that goes to the chip shortage and what percentage of the vehicle is going to be made of components that we know traditionally we know nothing about, including the drive systems, the motor control systems, the autonomous drive systems, which are a big part of EV. And I think that has a lot to do with why we're going to pure EV drive technology, by the way. But how much can the traditional technician still service? We're still going to have a brake system. We're still going to have a suspension system. We've still got tires, as you said, although tires are undergoing their own revolution. And are we going to maintain 12-volt electrics? With LEDs, the big reason for maintaining 12-volt electrics was primarily for lighting. Well, with LEDs, we don't even need it for that. So, lots of questions that many of which we don't have answers for. But yeah, what is the role of what we call conventional automotive technology in the car of 2030?
I think we have to step up. We do what we've always done. We evolve, we change. As a hybrid level to your question, I've owned 4 hybrid vehicles. I own actually 3 of them now. I bought 2 09 Escape hybrids, which were our original 2 service vehicles. We retired one of them at 400,000 miles. I think John Thornton has an 08 hybrid Escape that has over 500,000 miles. It's crazy that you lose some of the service ability on these things, but we have to evolve. I have a dear friend who's probably one of the most progressive shop owners I know in College Station, Texas, at Gladney Automotive, Kirk Holland, and he actually last week bought a Tesla. When he built his brand new, I always call it the Tex Mahal for the Taj Mahal. It's a beautiful shop. He has an electric charging station outside as part of that thing to say, hey, we know EVs. And he thought, what better way to let customers know, because they're very well read, as Rich spoke to, that they know electric vehicles inside and out. They have one. They have it for a loaner. He just got it last week, and he has his technicians, his service advisors, and himself drive it home, drive it a couple nights a week or whatever, so they're familiar with it. And the chip shortage stuff is definitely a thing, but that'll come around. We do a lot of the ADAS calibrations on the semi-autonomous vehicles, and the level 2, high level 3 stuff, adaptive cruise control, and that's all just different opportunities for shops. Rather than send it down the road, you evolve, you find out how to do it. Instead of just quoting the 4-wheel alignment at so many coconuts or whatever, you throw in there, hey, when we do the 4-wheel alignment, OE service information says we need to recalibrate the front camera. Maybe we have to recalibrate the distance sensor, and you mitigate your loss. And it's another profit center that you could, as a shop, that we're having stuff ratcheted away from us, gone to the dealer, that we can do in shop now.
So it's an exciting time if you want to be a progressive, forward-thinking technician, shop owner, or service advisor.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think you're right. These guys are talking about the evolution, and the only thing I want to make sure we don't lose sight of is this is exciting. This is cool stuff, right? This is such a great opportunity to learn. I want to make sure we don't lose sight of we have to get paid for our knowledge and our time in order to do this stuff. That has, I've seen a lot of these evolutions in the past. The painful part of those evolutions were we were skinning our knuckles and not getting paid. This evolution, we better make sure that we're getting paid.
Yeah, an interesting study was just completed. I think it was J.D. Power pointed out that at least for the first 2 or 3 years after the introduction of pure EVs, a specific model, for instance, say the Mustang E, that repair costs are actually going to be higher for the first couple of years because of the extended diagnostic time that's going to have to be devoted until we get a knowledge base established for each of these vehicles' little peculiarities. And
we should copy that article, and we should posterize it inside of our shops. Not that I think we have to prove that to the motoring public, but it costs how much? Are you serious? Come on. It doesn't cost $25 to figure out what's wrong with my car.
If you have a $10 head, wear a $10 helmet. The great Bell Motorcycle ad. And the other part of that is that we get paid every time. We've always made our bones in this the old-fashioned way. One customer at a time, customer service. It's hey, it's pouring rain. It's Wednesday night, date night, that somebody's got a wiper blade that's streaking. They've got a kid in the car. You're like, all right, honey, I'll be late. I ran a tow truck for many years, my early career or whatever. There was many a snowy Midwestern night that I pulled cars out of ditches and put my life in peril. I say it all the time that technicians and shop owners are some of the finest quality people I've met in my life. They do.
Rick, I'll go to you. I'll give you the last word here, Rick.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Change is coming, and we have a chance to either resist it or embrace it. And if we embrace it, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something that's really amazing. If we resist it, it's going to be really painful. We are a professional industry. We are not a trade anymore. And we've got to stop thinking about getting paid by time and start getting paid for experience. That's what we've got to do. And I hope you guys are all going to take a ride with all of us, because that's where we're all going.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this show, of course, went beyond my expectations. I thank you all for being here. I want to do one more slide, and I don't want to walk away from the sheer fact that for all of us who are going to AAPEX, are we going to be safe? What's my role? What do I need to do? Now, AAPEX is going to require proof of a COVID-19 vaccination or a negative COVID PCR test administered prior to arrival in order to attend the 2021 event. I believe there's going to, if you register, you're going to get information given to you as to exactly how to do this. So like any other events that are going on, you got to, check with your state, check with your locals. There's no reason not to attend AAPEX, figuring that you will be at risk, because AAPEX is going to do everything within the law of not only Las Vegas, but of Nevada, and what's also right for everybody attending. So we'll all accept what has to be done, and you sign up, you'll get an email, and I'm sure that it'll walk you through everything and how to sign up and how to prove your vaccine card up and through. I think they're going to have some kind of app to work that. Hey guys, this was great. Thank you all for being here as we do a little bit of behind the scenes here at AAPEX 2021. And I think my panel did an excellent job to tell you what their role is going to be there, and maybe to excite you to want to click on that airline thing and hotel and get on board. And as I think you all said, to see Rick and Eric and Rich and Bill for only $25. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Tell my wife that, will you, Carm?
Pardon?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, but that's the law of familiarity. It doesn't work, you know.
Eric Ziegler, Easy Diagnostics, Easy Tech Mentors, and Easy Diagnostic Solutions. Rich Cregar, Automotive Training Authority. Rick White from 180 Biz, and Bill Haas, Haas Performance Consulting. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your contributions.
Thanks, Carm.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.